Hey, what's up, guys, and welcome back once again today to Thrash Reviews here on the Thrash Maniac 99 YouTube channel, where I review upcoming hard rock and heavy metal albums in the calendar year of 2016. And I am back at for a third review today, and I am reviewing the newest release from Australian extreme metal band Destroyer 666 and their new album WILDFIRE. For those that don't know, Destroyer 666 is an extreme metal band from Australia, and Australia's not really known for a whole lot of heavy metal bands or hard rock bands in general. It's mostly known as the big country and continent where AC/DC formed and became one of the biggest bands of all time. Arguably the biggest, if you really want to try to go that far. But over the years, there have been some pretty well-established bands coming out of Australia, including this band. Even recently, bands like Airborne, and then back in the 80s, you had like Hobbs, Angel of Death, Mortal Sin, a bunch of other bands that came out of Australia, and now currently there's even been bands like Parkway Drive, Thy Art Is Murder that have been coming out of Australia. But Destroyer 666 is considered one of the most overlooked, underrated, underground extreme metal bands. Their brand of extreme metal is pretty much all about combining, pretty much a little bit of thrash, a little bit of speed metal, a little bit of black metal, and a little bit of death metal, and they throw it all together into a thrash metal package, and there you go. That is what Destroyer 666 is all about. But let's get into the album review as we kick it off with the opening track, Traitor. And right off the bat, you can tell that this is purely a thrash metal record with some black metal vocals at times, kind of like what Skeleton Witch does right now, where they're mostly playing thrash metal music. Vocally can be between death metal and black metal, whereas with Destroyer 666, it's like combining traditional thrash vocals with black metal vocals. So it's pretty unique what they do vocally as well as with the music. And this opening track is just a fast and furious ripping through the guitars, all that good stuff you'd love to hear in a thrash band like myself. When it comes to thrash, I love to, and I've said it in other reviews, I rely on a healthy amount of repetition where it's like, stay on that fucking riff or whatever they're playing, and just listen to it for a few more bars and just really pump your fist up, fist pump or headbang or do whatever it is you like to do whenever you get into a good mood listening to metal. And this track definitely gets you going, and musically had a lot to offer, had a lot of great musicianship behind it, great playing from every member of the band, great vocals too. It was really well executed. Next track I want to talk about is Hounds at Ya Back. And this is one of the longer tracks of the album, a little over 5 minutes long, and it was a pure thrasher piece right here, just like the first couple of tracks on the album. Very fast, very aggressive, and very varied. I hate to put it that way, but it's all about compacting a bunch of different musical elements into what they want to do. Going back to what I said before, combining pretty much most of what extreme metal is, but do it in their own way with the thrash metal structures and speed and stuff like that, with a bit of a speed metal influence thrown in there, with some of the more, say if you're listening to Iron Maiden at double speed, that's some moments you get on this album where it sounds like you're listening to double speed Iron Maiden, when sometimes you hear hints of bands like Slayer, or hints of bands like Testament, Creator, mixed in with perhaps a little bit of Bathory thrown in there at times. Could be far-fetched, but hey, it's just from what I can hear. The next track I want to talk about is the title track, WILDFIRE. Another rip-roaring track that just absolutely shreds. The solo was really, really intricate, really well executed. The riffs, oh my god, the riffs on this album were just thunderous, pulse-pounding, and just, really, really great stuff that they pulled on a track like this, as well as all the other tracks with the guitar riffs. I mean, it's just riff-a-rama all over the fucking place with this album. And then you get to the closing track, which is Tamam Shud, or Shud. Tamam Shud, which is the longest track of the album at nearly 7 minutes. And this is probably the most unique track of the album because it's not a typical thrash or speed metal track. There's a little bit of like doom metal thrown into the mix where there's some slower parts and more, not as much black metal vocals going on, more of the traditional thrash metal vocal approach, and a little cleaner at times in this track. But it is their most unique track because they take this big time speed away from the previous 9 tracks, and they slow it all down and try to create a diverse song, and it was well executed. It was atmospheric, it had a lot of cool soundscapes going on, and it was just really, really incredible to hear the closing track of what, in my opinion, was another fantastic album. 2016 so far has been filled with quite a few thrasher pieces. Megadeth had a really solid release. We reviewed the Anthrax album a little bit ago. That was fantastic. Exhumer has a contending album of the year album. And now this, holy crap, and there's still going to be a lot more thrash coming out later in the year with the potential of Metallica, the potential of Testament, potentially Overkill, Creator. Destruction's going to have an album out later. Holy crap, this is the year to get into metal right now, because so many big bands are coming out with albums this year. But with that being said, overall score, I would give this album an 89 out of 100. Nothing on this album was complaint-worthy. Every track, start to finish, consistently awesome to listen to. You know, it's like these kind of songs would be fitting like if you're in like a race car and you're just going absolutely full tilt and just going absolutely mad and just spinning cars out and just doing what you want to do because you don't give a fuck. That's what this album's all about. It's like, hey, we write what we write and we don't give a fuck what you think. We're going to make some fast, aggressive music and we're going to do it well, and you're going to be damned with the consequences. And that's exactly what Destroyer 666 pulled on this album. They made what they wanted to do, and it was well executed, in my opinion. 89 out of 100. What did you guys think of Wildfire by Destroyer 666 if you've listened to the album? Leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say about it. But until then, peace out, and have a good Friday night.